Welcome back to Elderly Active Living. Have you ever found yourself lying in bed, exhausted to the bone, but sleep just doesn't come? You close your eyes, you turn off all the lights, you try not to think, but your mind won't slow down. You roll over, you count sheep, you even try fluffing the pillow just right, or breathing deep like your neighbor suggested. Still, nothing. The clock ticks 11, 0 p.m. 1, 0 a.m. 3, 17 a.m. You're wide awake, even though your body feels like it's been running a marathon. And here's the frustrating part. You used to sleep like a rock. Maybe you weren't a deep sleeper, but you slept. So what changed? Most of us blame aging. That's the default answer. It's just part of getting older, right? Well, maybe not entirely. What if the reason you're tossing and turning at night isn't just about your age, or your stress, or your worries? What if the answer is right in your own kitchen? Yes, I'm talking about food. Specifically, the foods you eat in the evening. Because here's something most people don't realize. Certain foods can actually support your body's natural ability to relax, wind down, and fall into a peaceful, restorative sleep. And others? Well, they quietly sabotage it. And no, this isn't about some expensive supplement or a trendy sleep potion you saw in a magazine. I'm talking about simple, natural ingredients. Things you probably already have in your pantry or fridge. Imagine this: a warm bowl of something simple, a handful of the right kind of nuts, even a familiar cup of tea used at the right time, in the right way, can help signal to your body, it's okay. You can rest now. You see, sleep doesn't have to get worse with age. You don't have to settle for restless nights and groggy mornings. In today's video, we're diving into 8 powerful foods that can change the way you sleep, and more importantly, how and when to eat them to get the best results. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Food number 3 is one almost everyone eats at completely the wrong time of day. And that simple mistake could be costing you hours of sleep every week. So grab a warm drink, maybe settle into your favorite chair, and let's explore how what you eat can become one of your best tools for deep, healing sleep. Oh, and before we start, let us know in the comments. Do you struggle with falling asleep? Or do you wake up too early and can't get back to sleep? Just type better sleep if that sounds like you. And if this is your first time here, welcome to Elderly Active Living, where we share honest, simple tips to help you live fully, sleep deeply, and feel your best at any age. Let's get started. Part 1. Tart cherries, a sweet secret for deeper sleep. Have you ever laid awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if you'd ever fall asleep? That was Harold, a 72-year-old retiree who used to sleep like a rock. But over the past few years, something changed. He found himself waking up multiple times a night, pacing quietly through the house, unable to shake the feeling that his body just couldn't settle. Harold had tried everything from white noise machines to herbal teas. Nothing seemed to work. Until one day, flipping through a health magazine in a waiting room, he came across a small article on tart cherry juice and sleep. It wasn't a miracle cure, it wasn't a pill, just a simple, natural suggestion. Drink half a cup of tart cherry juice an hour or two before bed. Skeptical but willing, Harold gave it a try, and after a couple of weeks of consistency, something amazing happened. The restlessness began to fade. He slept longer stretches, stopped waking at 3 a.m., and started waking up feeling like he'd truly rested. So why tart cherries? These little fruits are one of the very few natural sources of melatonin, the hormone your body produces to regulate your sleep-wake cycle. And as we age, melatonin production often decreases, making it harder to fall and stay asleep. But here's the important part. It's not just about drinking juice. It's about how and when you consume it. Drinking tart cherry juice about 1 to 2 hours before bed gives your body enough time to absorb and respond to the melatonin. And you don't need much, just half a cup. Or, if you prefer chewing over sipping, you can eat a small handful of dried or fresh tart cherries. It's gentle, natural, and it supports your body's natural rhythm without forcing anything. Remember, the goal isn't to knock you out, it's to help your body remember how to rest. It's a small step, but for someone like Harold, it meant getting his nights back. And that, in this stage of life, is priceless. Part 2. Bananas. Nature's Bedtime Lullaby. Meet Gloria. She's 78, sharp as ever, still writes poetry, and never misses her weekly knitting circle. But if you ask her about sleep, she'll shake her head. I fall asleep fine, she says, but then I wake up at 2 a.m., wide awake like I've just had coffee. During a routine doctor's visit, her physician noticed something. Her magnesium levels were low. He recommended a simple fix: add a banana to her nighttime routine. At first, Gloria laughed. A banana? At night? But she gave it a try. 1 banana, about an hour before bed, nothing fancy. Just peeled, sliced, maybe paired with a spoonful of almond butter. And the result? Within a few nights, the 2 a.m. wake-ups got quieter. Within a couple of weeks, they disappeared. She not only fell asleep, she stayed asleep. And when she did wake, it was gentle, not jarring. Bananas are rich in magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that play a key role in relaxing muscles and calming the nervous system. Magnesium soothes the brain. Potassium helps ease muscle tension. Together, they form a kind of internal lullaby, telling your body, it's time to rest. There's a common myth that bananas are too sugary for bedtime. But 1 medium banana, with its natural fiber and balanced nutrients, digests slowly and steadily. When paired with almond butter, the healthy fat helps keep you satisfied through the night, preventing those 3 a.m. snack cravings. For Gloria, it wasn't about a big diet change or a complex routine. It was about listening to her body and giving it what it quietly needed. Sometimes the solution is simpler than we think. Part 3. Almonds, a tiny nut with big sleep power. Sam is 81, a retired math teacher, and a man who spent his life solving puzzles. But for the past year, he had one problem he couldn't figure out: his legs. Every night, just as he'd start to doze off, his legs would twitch, ache, and demand attention. He had restless leg syndrome, and it made sleep feel impossible. He tried warm baths, stretching, even massages, but nothing gave him relief. Then his daughter, a nutritionist, suggested something unexpected: almonds. Eat a small handful before bed, she said. Skeptical, Sam tried it anyway. 8 to 10 raw or lightly roasted almonds. No salt, nothing fancy. And within a week, something shifted. The leg twitches softened, the discomfort faded. Sleep came easier. For the first time in months, Sam slept through the night. What makes almonds so effective? Like bananas, they're rich in magnesium. But they also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that helps your body produce serotonin, the feel-good hormone that converts into melatonin, your sleep hormone. It's a gentle cascade. Almonds provide the building blocks, your body does the rest. But timing matters. Eat them about an hour before bed. Not too many, just enough to fuel the process. And be careful with salted almonds. The extra sodium can make you thirsty at night, waking you up for water or bathroom trips. Stick with raw or dry roasted varieties. For Sam, the solution wasn't in a bottle, it was in a bowl. A handful of almonds eaten with intention. Sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference. Part 4. Oatmeal. A simple bowl. A big difference. Margaret, at 75, never thought falling asleep would become such a chore. She'd always been someone who enjoyed a full night's rest, but lately it felt like her brain refused to slow down. As the house grew quiet and the lights dimmed, her thoughts would do the opposite, racing from grocery lists to old memories, to do items, to long-forgotten regrets. She tried it all: herbal teas, turning off screens an hour before bed, even a white noise machine. Nothing seemed to work, until one day she made a change so subtle it barely registered at first. Instead of reaching for crackers or a cookie after dinner, Margaret made herself a small bowl of warm oatmeal. Just a half serving. No sugar, no fancy toppings. A sprinkle of cinnamon, maybe a few slices of banana. That night, she fell asleep faster. Her body relaxed sooner. Her breath steadied without her even noticing. And by the end of that week, she wasn't just falling asleep more easily, she was staying asleep longer. Oatmeal might not strike you as a bedtime snack. We associate it with cold mornings and quick breakfasts, not winding down for the night. But here's what makes it so powerful. Oats are a complex carbohydrate. When you eat them, they raise your blood sugar gently, not a spike, just a gradual rise. That little change helps your brain release serotonin, a feel-good chemical that calms your mind and body. And from serotonin, your body produces melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. It's like a chain reaction, kicked off by a humble spoonful of oats. And there's more. If you prepare your oatmeal with almond milk instead of regular milk, you'll also be giving your body a boost of magnesium and calcium, 2 minerals that further support restful sleep. Cinnamon, too, plays its part by helping regulate blood sugar and providing warmth and comfort that gently eases your nervous system. Now, some people worry about eating before bed. Isn't that too heavy? They ask. But the key here is moderation. We're not talking about a full bowl loaded with sugar and syrup. This is about creating a simple ritual. Half a serving, a few mindful toppings, eaten about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. It's not just what you eat, it's how and when you eat it. Margaret's story reminds us that sleep isn't always about big changes. Sometimes it's the small, consistent things that make the difference. And a warm bowl of oatmeal? It might be just what your body needs to slow down, settle in, and say, "Okay, it's time to rest now." Part 5. Chamomile Tea. A sip of stillness. Elaine is 83 years old. She's lively, full of stories, and still sharp as ever with her crossword puzzles. But come evening, she has a ritual that never changes. Around 8 p.m., she heads to the kitchen, boils some water, and brews a cup of chamomile tea. She cradles the mug in both hands, settles into her favorite armchair, and lets the warmth seep into her fingers. She doesn't rush. She just sips, breathes, and unwinds. She's been doing this for years. When asked why, her answer is simple: it slows me down. And she's right. Chamomile tea isn't just a cozy drink. It's a natural remedy with centuries of history. It contains a compound called apigenin, which binds to specific receptors in your brain. These receptors help calm the nervous system, reduce anxiety, and send the signal, "It's safe to sleep now." It's like flipping a gentle switch from alert to rest. Not all herbal teas are created equal, and not all work the same way. But chamomile stands out for its consistent results, especially among older adults who want to avoid sleep medications. Unlike pills, it doesn't force your body to shut down, it invites it. Elaine drinks her tea about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. It gives her body time to relax, to let go of the day, and to prepare for rest. She adds a teaspoon of honey sometimes, or a splash of almond milk for a creamier texture. But the setting is just as important as the tea itself. Quiet space, dim lights, no distractions. Because it's not just about what you're drinking, it's about creating an environment of calm. So if you're looking for something gentle, something natural, something that doesn't come with a warning label or side effects, maybe a cup of chamomile tea is your next step. It's not just a drink, it's an invitation to pause, to breathe, to rest. Elaine calls it her sip of stillness. And maybe, just maybe, it's time you poured yourself one too. Part 6. Turkey, a savory sleep secret. Now let's talk turkey. Not the kind you serve with cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving, but the kind that might actually help you sleep better every night. Let me introduce you to Gerald. He's 79, spent his life working with his hands, building homes, repairing furniture, always on the move. But now, in retirement, he faced a different kind of challenge, winding down. No matter how early he went to bed or how calm his evening was, he couldn't seem to fall asleep. It felt like his body was tired, but his brain refused to slow down. That was until one evening, his daughter, who's a nurse, handed him a plate with a turkey wrap. "Eat this," she said, smiling. "Trust me." He gave her that fatherly, skeptical look, but ate it anyway. Within a week of having a small serving of turkey with dinner, he started to notice a shift. He didn't toss and turn as much. The fog in his brain the next morning felt a little lighter. So what changed? Turkey is high in tryptophan, an amino acid that helps the body produce serotonin, which later converts to melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. It's the same chemical reaction that makes you feel drowsy after a big holiday meal. But here's the secret. You don't need a feast. Just a small portion of lean turkey, ideally white meat, eaten 2 to 3 hours before bed, can give your body that gentle nudge towards sleep. Now a lot of folks hear protein and think it'll keep them awake. And yes, a heavy, greasy dinner late at night might do that. But a light turkey wrap or a few slices of roasted turkey breast, maybe paired with a slice of whole grain bread or a side of veggies, can do wonders. And turkey is not just about sleep. It's also a great source of lean protein that supports muscle maintenance, something incredibly important as we age. Maintaining muscle isn't just for athletes. It helps with balance, stability, and overall vitality. If you're someone who struggles with restlessness or waking up feeling like you barely slept, turkey might be your new evening ally. Give it a try. Start with a few slices, keep it simple, and let your body respond. Part 7. Kiwi, the bright green sleep booster. You might not expect a tropical green fruit to help with your bedtime routine, but kiwi has been quietly making its way into sleep science. And for good reason. Let me tell you about Sandra. She's 76, a retired librarian who has always kept her mind sharp with puzzles and reading. But in recent years, she noticed her sleep started slipping. Not terrible, but just incomplete. She'd wake up more often, feel less refreshed, and sometimes lie awake thinking about things she couldn't control. One afternoon at her community center, someone mentioned they'd been eating kiwi before bed and sleeping like a log. Sandra laughed it off, but was curious. So she picked up a few kiwis and added one to her evening snack. The results surprised her. Within days, she was falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. And best of all, she felt genuinely refreshed in the morning. Here's the science. Kiwi is rich in antioxidants and serotoninase, the same brain chemical that promotes relaxation and helps regulate sleep cycles. It also contains folate and potassium, both of which play roles in healthy nerve function and muscle relaxation. But what really makes kiwi shine is its impact on sleep onset, the time it takes to actually fall asleep. Studies show that eating 1 or 2 kiwis about an hour before bed can significantly improve sleep quality, especially in older adults. So how do you eat it? Simple. Just peel and eat it as is, or slice it into a small bowl with a bit of yogurt or cottage cheese. It's light, it's refreshing, and it won't sit heavy in your stomach. And let's be honest, we all get tired of the same snacks. Kiwi brings a little variety, a little color, and maybe, just maybe, a better night's sleep. Part 8. Warm milk. A comforting classic that still works. Now we end with something timeless. Warm milk. The bedtime remedy grandmothers have been recommending for generations. And guess what? It still works. Raymond, 84, was skeptical. He'd heard about warm milk from his mum back in the 1940s. Back then, it was more of a ritual than a remedy. But now, struggling with broken sleep and early morning wake-ups, he was willing to try anything. So he warmed up a cup, added a sprinkle of cinnamon, and sipped it slowly in his favorite recliner before bed. He was surprised to find it worked. Not dramatically, not like flipping a switch, but his mind quieted, his breath slowed. He felt ready to rest. Warm milk contains tryptophan, which you know by now helps create melatonin. But it also has a psychological comfort factor. It signals to your brain that the day is winding down. It brings a sense of peace, of safety. And that matters. Some people like to mix it with honey or nutmeg. Some prefer almond or oat milk alternatives. The key is warmth and the calming moment you give yourself to slow down. So if you're looking for a gentle way to end your evening, revisit this simple, old-fashioned comfort. A warm cup of milk, a quiet chair, and a few minutes of stillness might be exactly what your body needs. Elderly Active Living is here to remind you that it's never too late to reclaim your sleep. From tart cherries to warm milk, small changes can lead to big rest. Try one tonight, and let us know how you feel in the morning. Have you ever stopped to think about just how much your sleep impacts your life? Not just how rested you feel in the morning, but how clear your mind is, how steady your mood feels, how well your heart functions, or how strong your immune system stays through the seasons. Sleep touches everything. And as we age, it becomes even more important yet, more fragile. But here's the truth that too many people forget. You are not powerless. You are not stuck in a cycle of restless nights and groggy mornings. And no, this isn't about prescriptions or some overnight miracle. It's about small, mindful, step-stony choices you can make starting tonight. That late-night snack, that cup of tea before bed, even that quiet moment you give yourself to wind down, each one is a signal to your body. Hey, it's safe now, you can rest. Because the beauty of the human body, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, is that it's always listening. It's always trying to return to balance. And what you feed it physically and emotionally guides that journey. So let's take a moment and remember the 8 powerful foods we explored together. 1. Tart cherries, gently raising melatonin levels. 2. Bananas, relaxing muscles and calming the mind. 3. Almonds, supporting deeper rest with magnesium and tryptophan. 4. Oatmeal, soothing your system with complex carbs. 5. Chamomile tea, sending peace to every nerve, ending. 6. Turkey, rich in natural sleep-supporting amino acids. 7. Kiwi, a surprising fruit that helps you fall asleep faster. 8. Warm milk with honey, comforting your inner child and your adult system all at once. These aren't exotic superfoods. They're humble, affordable, and already within reach. But don't try all 8 at once. Just choose one tonight. Give your body a chance to respond. Maybe it's a warm cup of chamomile. Maybe it's a slice of banana with almond butter. Whatever it is, let it be your quiet signal that rest is coming. Because here's the message I want you to walk away with. Sleep is not something you've lost. It's something you can reclaim, with patience, with care, with food that truly loves you back. If this video gave you a little hope or an idea you want to try tonight, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, welcome to Elderly Active Living, a space where we support one another in living well, sleeping deeply, and aging with grace. Tap that subscribe button so you never miss gentle, practical wisdom like this. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have any of these foods helped you sleep better? Because when we share, we grow. When we listen to our bodies, we heal. And when we rest well, we rise stronger. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself and sleep peacefully tonight. Tra.